Hello, welcome to TED-IELTS. I'm David Wills and today I'm going to be telling you how to check your IELTS writing Task 2 essay for mistakes. So, the IELTS writing exam. If you want to find out information about it, you can go to our website, TED-IELTS.com, and you can look around. Lots of great guides about how to structure it, how to analyze the question, everything you can imagine about the IELTS writing exam. But today I'm going to be giving you a checklist. This checklist is to help you, when you finish writing, figure out what you've maybe missed or anything that you've done wrong. It can be really difficult to actually look back at your own writing and tell whether you've made any mistakes or not. That's true even for native speakers like myself. But it's important you go through and you look for everything. So today we're going to talk about 10 things you can look for. Obviously you can't take this list into the exam with you, but if you practice it, you'll hopefully remember it, and it will be easier when you're sitting doing the exam at the end to take some time and go through this stuff and see if you made any mistakes that you can change to bring your grade up a level. So, number one we'll be looking at today is, did you directly answer the question? And this is really important. So one of the things we examine in the IELTS exam is task achievement. Did you really understand and answer the question? It's worth looking at this at the end of the exam, as well, obviously, as the beginning, which is the important one. Because at the end of the exam, you can look back and see if you really clearly did it or not. If you didn't, it's a little late to make any major changes, but you might be able to make some small changes to correct yourself. In any case, this is something really important. It's worth 25% of your grade for this part of the exam, so make sure you've answered the question correctly. Next, we're looking for spelling errors. So this is an easy one, probably the first thing you're going to think of, but did you really look for spelling mistakes? Everyone makes them. If you make one or two, that's not a problem, but you've got to be careful not to make any more than that. And it's worth going back through your work a few times to check. Look for any common mistakes, anything that you find yourself frequently making, and please try and correct them before it's too late. Next, you're going to be looking for grammar mistakes. So this might be a little harder to find, but if you've been practicing your grammar before the exam, you might want to look back at your writing and figure out, were there any mistakes you often made and could you change them? It's not too late. Kind of related to that is punctuation. Grammar we're going to put into your tenses, your word order, and so forth. But punctuation, I mean, did you get the commas and periods in the right places? That's really, really important. What about starting a new sentence at the right time? Did you capitalize that? This is some basic stuff, but it's worth checking, especially when you're doing your practice IELTS exams. Check this, get someone to look at it for you, and if you're making mistakes, fix it, and then when you go into the final your real IELTS exam, you can check this. Next, you're going to want to make sure there's a variety of sentence structures. Well, what do we mean by that? I mean the different types of sentences. So in English we have 4 sentence types. We've got simple, complex, compound, and compound complex. So you want to basically have a mix of sentences. If you've just got nothing but simple sentences, your writing sounds really boring and kind of overly basic. At the same time, if your sentences are all really long, it can be quite difficult to understand. So you might want to go a long sentence, short sentence. It kind of gives your writing some musical sound. It makes it much more interesting to read. The next part, you're going to be thinking about whether or not your essay is well structured. Now to do that, you're going to have to firstly learn the structures. You can find those on our website. You can take a look. We've got lots of information about how to structure the different kinds of essays. But basically, you're going to want to have a 4-paragraph structure with your introduction at the beginning, your conclusion at the end, and then 2 body paragraphs that are clearly defined. Within those, then you have to look at the structure. So in your body paragraphs, was there a main idea? Did you have a topic sentence? Did you expand upon that? And did you give any examples? Next, you're going to be thinking about logical flow. So logical flow means going from one idea to the next without any strangeness to it for the reader. They've got to know what you're saying and understand. Now this might sound to you like it's a part of structure, and it is, but we also have logical flow from one sentence to the next. In this, think about your transition words. Think about how you maybe say therefore or however, even words like and but. Next, you're going to look for vague statements. Did you say anything that was too broad or too general? If so, that's okay, but you need another sentence to clarify it. If you say anything too vague, then it's important that you're able to discuss this further. Otherwise, it's a sign that you're not thinking so well, and also that you're not using very precise language. And precise language is so important for IELTS. Finally, the last thing we're going to talk about is to check the word count. Make sure that you've written at least 250 words, but don't go way too far over. I know some students, they get a little bit of skill and they get some confidence and they write 350 words. Well, that's fine, but the more you write, the more chance there is for error. If you write 350 words, you're going to have a lot more grammar and vocabulary mistakes, some spelling mistakes, and these are all going to be counted against you, but you're not getting points for writing the extra words. Okay, so that was our 10 things that you can check at the end of your IELTS writing, and hopefully these can help bring up your score. Once again, please check our website, TED-IELTS.com, for some great IELTS preparation materials. It's all free. Have a good day.